I don't know where y'all Americans are getting the information that Xiaohongshu RedNote translated is basically the Chinese version of TikTok. It's not. Xiaohongshu is basically Chinese Instagram, but like more advanced.
So pay attention, TikTok refugees. Here's some things you need to know about this app if you're gonna stay for like 2 or 3 days or like a month or something.
They are eating us up. Like, Chinese people are not coming on their app like we come on TikTok looking disheveled and crust in your eye and stink breath. They're not doing that. So kudos to y'all. Y'all can gorgeous over there.
In the next couple of clips, I do want to highlight something about the apps, whether you're looking at Douyin or what they're calling RedNote. We know that that's not the correct translation, but people have been really looking into the terms and conditions and also the community guidelines for using these different apps, especially RedNote. And so there are a couple of clips where women have really dug into the terms and conditions and have translated them, and then you have some other people that are talking about the community guidelines as well. And so check out these videos and let me know your thoughts.
Because in the club, we all fam, but I just want everyone to just hold on for a second. I know we've all migrated over there. I made an account. I have not posted yet because I wanted to read the terms and condition. Although they were in Mandarin, my assistant translated it for me. So there are a few differences from TikTok to this app that I feel that we need to be aware of. Some of the key differences, they have an irrevocable license. That means that even if you delete your content or leave the platform, they retain the rights to our content indefinitely. Number 2, they can sublicense our content to third parties. So our content could be used by advertisers, international partners, or other entities that we have no control over. Number 2. Number 3, they reserve the right to use personal elements like image, trademarks, and logos. Similar to TikTok, frame it more around content distribution rather than using personal branding for advertisements. So the personal branding, inclusion of branding elements like logos could be a concern for creators posting branded or professional content. Number 4, this is a big one, I think, for me. They can modify, remix, or adapt our content and create derivative works. Opens up a door for content to appear in unexpected forms in places like advertisements or altered versions. TikTok also permits adaptations, but theirs is a little broader with the word derivatives. The 5th thing is that commercial use without compensation clearly states that content can be used for promotional or commercial purposes without compensation, included in marketing campaigns to promote the platform or any other projects. Difference being that they RedNote can use it for indefinite commercial use. That word indefinite again. So if you have any original works, any original artwork, photography, anything that can be trademarked, I would maybe do a little bit more research before posting that on this app.
So I did it for you guys because I knew you guys weren't going to do it. So I did take the time to translate the terms and conditions on RedNote into English just so I could get a gist of what I was signing up for. And so I'm not going to post every single last article in the terms and conditions, but I wanted to just hit the highlights of what you're signing up for. So basically you're agreeing to not post any bad information or violate the basic principles established by the Constitution meaning the Chinese Constitution, inciting resistance or undermining the implementation of laws and regulations such as the Constitution, endanger national unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, disclose state secrets, endanger national security, damage national dignity, honor and interest, and promote terrorism or extremism. Of course, there is no slandering the excellent cultural traditions of the nation, inciting ethnic hatred and ethnic discrimination, infringing on national customs, habits, or distorting national history, national historical figures, or hurting national feelings, and it goes on and on. So basically, y'all need to make sure you're acting right, because you're not going to have the freedom of speech on RedNote the way that you have had. So everybody needs to come in, take their shoes off at the door, and behave on RedNote, or you could be gone. And who knows what else could possibly happen to you. So anyways, just want to let you all know what you all are signing up for on RedNote.
Hey, this is breaking news. All of us that have signed up for Xiao Hongshu, Little Red Book, Shaking Like a Red Nose, whatever, my Chinese spy told me to tell y'all, we will be in the next season of Squid Game. Yeah, ma'am. Yes, sir. Gonna be right up in there.
Now, this next person will be highlighting the community guidelines and throwing a little shade to Americans, I think. But with this guy, I think we all know that Squid Games was a show from Korea. At least that was my understanding, not China.
I promise you, Americans are not lasting a month on RedNote because of the community guidelines. Number 1, adhere to the Chinese Constitution and its laws. Americans don't know their own constitution. You want them to learn the Chinese one too? Practice the core socialist values. This is a capitalist country. A country where people post money spreads and sell courses. They are not adhering to socialist values. Promote the excellent traditional culture of the Chinese nation. Look, the only part about Chinese culture they're accepting is beef and broccoli and red envelopes. It's just not happening, okay? I don't see the vision. I'm gonna start posting my videos on OfferUp. Catch me there.
If you're going over to RedNote, remember, that's not our home. TikTok is our home. That's great, but TikTok's being shut down. We are refugees. We are going over to RedNote. If that's where we're going over to RedNote. We need to be respectful. We need to make sure that we recognize their culture, and we need to fit into their culture. We're not there to make the place over. We're there to fit into the culture that already exists. Please don't screw this up. We're just visitors, and people on RedNote are being real nice and letting us in, but it's not our home, it's theirs.
Fucking cold. So I took that as a sign as it's not meant for me to be on there. However, since it seems as though a lot of you have already made accounts, I think we need to go over the RedNote rules, okay? So the first and most important rule is take your shoes off before you enter them people's home. If you know, you know. Next, please do not take that Haro Kawasaki Benihana sound over there to that app. That's a little racist. The next rule is please respect those people's goddamn culture. If you see them eating something weird or doing something that you don't consider normal, please keep it to yourself. We are literally displaced visitors in these people's homes until we find out if our home is getting taken or not. Don't go over there acting like you run shit. The next rule is you people that like to do mukbangs, if you decide to take your mukbangs over there, at least eat with chopsticks. It's the least you can do, you in somebody else's house. Next rule, you YNs like to be on this app with your print showing, keep that over here, okay? Mylene ain't never seen nothing that big. You might scare her. The next rule is for the yappers of TikTok. It's time to become bilingual. It's time to start yapping in Mandarin. Pull out that Duolingo. And lastly, if they decide to let us keep TikTok and people decide to leave RedNote, leave that shit the way you fucking found it. Don't leave a mess in them people's house. With that being said, arigato. Peace and blessings.
I got on RedNote for like 2 seconds. I got right fuck up off of it. I don't got time for all of that Chinese shit. I don't understand a damn thing on that motherfucking app. And I've changed the language to English, and half of the shit is still in Chinese. It was giving me a brain aneurysm.
So there are some people complaining about the app. I don't know why people would expect to go on a Chinese app and expect all English or to cater to Americans, but that's what some people are doing. And then you have others who, like you've heard in past videos and in a few more clips I'll show here, who are telling folks to be more respectful and to not attempt to change the app to make it all American.
Hello? Haro? Hibachi benihana teriyaki.
So I also just want to highlight, like, listen, I'm no expert in Asian culture, but we as Americans clearly don't know much about the differences with different ethnicities, especially when it comes to within Asia. So we heard about the guy referencing Squid Games. To my knowledge, that is a Korean TV show. Also, that was really good. I haven't watched season 2 yet. We just heard the guy referencing that sound on TikTok. If you know, you know, but it's this voiceover from, I think it's Scary Movie, but which is, y'all know they make fun of everything, but it's this voiceover where they're, I think, speaking all types of different languages, Japanese, Chinese. They kind of combine it and it's supposed to be funny. It's like a voiceover from this movie where they're basically using Chinese foods, Japanese foods, and using that as the language because they don't speak the language that they're trying to speak. And then you just heard the guy, he's saying, hey, don't go into this app trying to control anything and making it westernized basically, and be respectful. And then at the end he says arigato, which I thought that was Japanese. Listen, I do not speak that many languages, but I think I know the gist of like the hello, the goodbyes, the, you know, just like the greetings. And I was just laughing with a lot of these videos because even the ones that were like telling Americans to be respectful in some ways could have been seen as disrespectful. And then you have others that are just like, I don't like the app because everything's in Chinese. And it's like, well, the actual logo on the app when you download it is a Chinese character. Like, I don't understand it, but it just kind of shows that the expectations of Americans of all backgrounds, like we do share that commonality, whether we're a certain race, men, women, whatever. We do have this sense of being an American and where's the English and why is this not made for me? And then you do have others that are trying to understand the culture, even learning the language, which you're going to see in a couple of clips.
My thing about RedNote, I've had it for a couple months already. I was calling it Zhaohong Shu or something like that. Like it a lot. I have it on the American setting. I don't like that I cannot engage in the comment section because I cannot understand what they're saying. And that is not their problem, which leads me to my next point. How very America of us to be like, oh, our app's shutting down. We're coming over there, sister.
One of the reasons why a lot of y'all are going to struggle in this new world is because you hate learning. Like, it actually bothers you to learn. And that's really important because this new world that is changing is all about being smarter and being more intellectual. If there is one thing the kind of content that I post has taught me is that learning really pisses some people off. If you hate learning and you feel learning, you are absolutely about to get left behind. But, you know, good luck, whatever.
Let me tell y'all something about that little red app. Red book, RedNote, Xiaohongshu. I don't know if I'm saying that right yet, but I will work on it until I get it right. First things first, Xiaohongshu is that girl or that guy or that person. I want to be inclusive. But I love the app because I feel like I was scrolling for maybe 45 minutes or so. And I was like, wait a minute. I looked at the side columns and I noticed my little bookmark thing looked different. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh my God, this is not TikTok. This is not TikTok. I love that. And I love my new Chinese following. I was on a few of y'all lives for a little while learning Mandarin. I feel like I got my associate's degree. It's to the point where the people from the UK are already on Xiaohongshu too because they're like, wait a minute, what are we going to do without our American friends? They're the bad kids in class and we need to get sent to detention too. Otherwise, how are we supposed to laugh throughout the day? And I love that for us. One thing for the people in the US, get on that app and act like you got some sense. I have seen so many of y'all trying to initiate conversation like you're making first contact. Stop yelling. Stop yelling like, hello, we are Americans. They know. They know.
Q here.
哦，谢谢。你会说汉语吗？
应该会说。My Chinese, China.
我英国人和我赞比亚人。
你的中文在哪里学的？
学习中文在英国。
那中文很厉害。
谢谢。我练习。
Good。你来过中国吗？
不好，我还没去中国。
有机会一定要来看看。
I just have one thing to say to the American government that thinks that China is stealing my data. 关我屁事. 关我屁事. That simply means I don't give a shit. I've been on RedNote for maybe 30 minutes and I've started learning Mandarin. Yep, this is my life now. I'm about to start speaking that shit fluently. Give me 1 year. And I don't know if like people on RedNote got the memo about TikTok or what, but they've already started speaking like the people on TikTok that are migrating over. They're already teaching us Mandarin.
Q here.
哦，谢谢。你会说汉语吗？
应该会说。我 Chinese China。
我英国人和我赞比亚人。
你的中文在哪里学的？
学习中文在英国。
那中文很厉害。
啊，谢谢。我练习，我练习。
Good。你来过中国吗？
不好，我还没去中国。
有机会一定要来看看。
So this was one of the highlights, is that a lot of Americans are learning some Mandarin, and I won't say that I've seen anyone that's fluent, but I think that is a great thing to begin learning about different cultures and also languages. Let me know what y'all think about this topic. Have y'all used the app? Do you plan on using it? Do you have reservations? I definitely have reservations typically about adding any new app. Also, make sure if you are using the app to check out the terms and conditions. I know we don't typically do that, but it may help you in the long run.